Every year, your body gets a little worse at repairing itself. Skin becomes thinner, bones lose density, muscles shrink, cells accumulate damage, and over time, the risk of death rises sharply. At least, that's how aging works for us. But in a quiet pond, a tiny animal called a hydra seems to ignore this rule. Cut one in half, and under the right conditions, it can grow into two complete animals. Its body is constantly rebuilt by stem cells, replacing old tissue with new tissue again and again. Meanwhile, deep underground in East Africa, naked mole rats can live for more than 30 years, about 10 times longer than a mouse. Even stranger, they don't show the same steep rise in death risk that most mammals do as they age. And in the cold waters of the North Atlantic, Greenland sharks may live for centuries, moving slowly through the dark long after entire human civilizations have risen and fallen. So are these animals immortal? Not exactly, but they do reveal something stranger. Aging is not a single universal clock. It's a biological process that evolution can speed up, slow down, flatten, or sometimes almost hide. To understand how, we first need to define what aging actually is. Aging is not just the passage of time. A newborn, a teenager, and a 90-year-old have all moved through time, but they haven't experienced it in the same biological way. In biology, aging usually means senescence, a gradual decline in function as damage builds up inside the body. DNA gets copied with errors, proteins lose their shape, cells stop dividing properly, waste accumulates, repair systems become less effective. Eventually, tissues and organs become more fragile. In many animals, this also means mortality risk rises with age. A young adult may have a low chance of dying this year. An elderly adult has a much higher one. But some species show what scientists call negligible senescence. Their bodies still move through time, but they show little obvious age-related decline, or their risk of death increases much more slowly than expected. The hydra is one of the most famous examples. Hydra are tiny freshwater animals with tube-shaped bodies and tentacles around their mouths. They look simple, almost like living punctuation marks, but their bodies are packed with active stem cells. These cells constantly divide and replace older cells. Instead of maintaining one aging body for decades, a hydra is more like a living renovation project. Damaged or worn-out cells are continually pushed out and replaced. Under stable laboratory conditions, some hydra populations show no clear signs of aging for years. They can keep reproducing, repairing, and regenerating. But this does not mean a hydra cannot die. It can be eaten, infected, starved, poisoned, or destroyed by a changing environment. Its trick is not invincibility. Its trick is that aging is not the easiest way to kill it. Naked mole rats take a very different approach. They are wrinkled, nearly hairless rodents that live in underground colonies. By normal rodent standards, they should not last long. Mice often live only a few years. Naked mole rats can live for decades. Their secret is not constant full-body regeneration. Instead, their cells seem unusually good at resisting damage. They have strong systems for maintaining protein quality, unusual responses to low oxygen, and remarkable resistance to cancer compared with many other mammals. Their underground lifestyle may also matter. Living in protected burrows reduces some dangers from predators and environmental stress, which can make long-term body maintenance more evolutionarily worthwhile. Because that's the hidden rule behind long life. Repair is expensive. Every organism has limited energy. It can spend that energy on growing quickly, reproducing early, escaping predators, fighting infection, or repairing itself for the long future. For an animal likely to be eaten within months, investing heavily in a body built to last 200 years would be a terrible bargain. Evolution does not reward theoretical longevity. It rewards survival and reproduction in the real world. That's why aging patterns vary so dramatically. Some tortoises age slowly because their shells protect them and their slow lifestyles reduce wear. Some rockfish and sea urchins show little age-related decline for long periods. Ocean quahogs, a kind of clam, can live for centuries protected by shells and cold, stable environments. Greenland sharks grow slowly, mature late, and live in deep, cold water where life itself moves at a different pace. But none of these animals use the same exact trick. For some, the answer is regeneration. For others, it's better DNA repair, more stable proteins, slower metabolism, cancer resistance, cold environments, or bodies protected from constant attack. Aging, it turns out, is not one enemy. It is a whole army of small failures, and different animals defend different gates. This is why the idea of immortal animals is both fascinating and misleading. A hydra may keep renewing its tissues, but it is still vulnerable to the world around it. A naked mole rat may resist many age-related diseases, but it still dies. A Greenland shark may live for centuries, but it is not frozen in time. It is simply aging so slowly that, from our short human perspective, it seems almost unreal. Even humans are not aging according to one simple timer. Some tissues renew quickly. The lining of your gut replaces itself in days. Skin turns over in weeks. Bone is rebuilt over years. But neurons in parts of your brain may last a lifetime. Your body is not one age. It is a crowded city of cells, each with its own maintenance schedule. So why can't we just copy the hydra, the mole rat, or the shark? Because their longevity is not a single switch. It is woven into their entire biology. Their size, metabolism, environment, reproduction, immune system, cancer defenses, and evolutionary history. A human body that constantly regenerated like a hydra might also face a serious risk: uncontrolled growth. In other words, cancer. A body that developed as slowly as a Greenland shark would not fit the pace of human life. And a naked mole rat's adaptations evolved for a strange, low-oxygen, underground world, not an office, a classroom, or a highway.
Still, these animals matter. They show that aging is not as fixed as it feels. Nature has already run millions of experiments in survival. Some failed quickly, some produced animals that burn bright and die young, and a few produced creatures that keep repairing, resisting, and enduring far longer than seems reasonable. So, do some animals never age? No. But some age so slowly or so differently that they bend the rules we thought every body had to follow. They are not escaping death. They are just refusing to make aging the easiest way to get there.
Thank you for watching, and do not forget to like the video and subscribe the channel.